Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing some tips and advice on the easiest ways that I have found to get scholarships and just things that I've learned through me having to fill out scholarships for my college. And hopefully this helps some of you guys that are either going into college next year like I am, or even college students, high school students, anybody that is in need of scholarships soon. And no further ado, let's get into the video. So let's get right into it. So number one, you can never start scholarships way too early. There is no such thing as way too early with scholarships. You can even start filling them out when you're a junior in high school, or I don't know about before that, but I know that if you're graduating in like the next 2 years, like graduating high school, and you are for sure going to college the year after you graduate, you can find scholarships that will allow you to apply. I know a lot of them, the age limit I believe is like 16. So that's when you're in like, so I guess that would be like 11th grade or 10th grade, 11th grade or whatever. But there's no such thing as starting them too early, because you never know how many you're going to actually get. And if you start getting them as early as 10th grade, that means when you're in 11th grade, 12th grade, and even when you're in college, you're already going to have those scholarships stacking up. Number two, if your school program, whatever you're going to for high school, does an A+ program or something similar, maybe it's not the name, but something similar where you are able to tutor and then you get 2 years free of community college, do it. Whether you know what college you are going to or not, do it. Apply for it. Get it done. Because I will tell you, I'm not going to a community college and it's still giving me $1,000 per semester. Please do it. Whether it gives you only $500, that's $500 you don't have to pay out of pocket, and that's $500 you are getting, whether that's a year or just per semester. I know I'm going to a pretty expensive private college, so they're giving me a lot more than they would other people, but it may be, obviously it's different between different schools, so you may not get as much, but do it, because there are a lot of people that they're just like, I don't know where I want to go. And if you go 2 years to a community college for free, but if you go 2 years for a community college, they give you an associate. So then from there, you can go to a different college, or you can stay there if that's not, if they have like a 4-year program. But they will give you, like after that, you can transfer it and they will give you a bachelor's degree. Well, they won't give you. You can earn a bachelor's degree by going to school even farther and stuff. So do it if your school has any type of program like that, that you just take like a class and it gives you like a scholarship type thing or a grant. Do it, whether you know what you're doing or not, because I've changed my mind so much, but I'm so glad in 9th grade that I signed up for this and that I'm able to do it, because it's helping me so much. Also, another tip just regarding the A+ program, if you're here in Jeff City, and I think even Columbia does it, but I'm not sure. But if you're here in Jeff City, I know they do the A+ program, but you have to have a certain GPA and a certain percentage of like attendance or whatever. I would definitely try to keep your GPA as high as you can. Obviously, it may not be a 4.0. I mean, I'm definitely not a 4.0. And it may not even be a 3.5. But if it's above a 3, you can usually get the A+ program. And then if your attendance is higher than a 95%, you'll get it, which is really hard. It was really hard for me. But they make the process of appeal very easy to do. And so I definitely suggest doing that if your school has a program like that. And then number 2, well, I guess that was number 2. So number 3, apply for as many as you can. My biggest mistake with applying for scholarships is my school did the Common Scholarship, and it was like a list of like 30 scholarships that were all for students to fill out, and there were a bunch of requirements. So I went through and I picked ones that particularly were for me, like whether it was for my major, or like they do female, they do it off of race, like different ones, and they do it off of like parents and stuff. So whether your parents are first, or whether you're like first generation, whatever, like all this different stuff. And so I went through and I picked the ones that were particularly for me. Well, that was only one. So I only filled out one, and I ended up getting it, which is really good. I'm really proud of myself. But fill out for as many as you can, because after, and when I say as many as you can, I mean, if it's business and finance, like, fill them out, because the problem is they will get these scholarships and they will only have like 5 people signing up. So they may pick you even if you're not technically going into that major or whatever. Like, I'm not having a major in business, but I know someday I want to own my own business. So I could have used that as a reason in my scholarship, and I could have won it. Not saying you're gonna win it. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I'm saying if you fill it out, there is a good chance that you will still get it, whether you're going to that or whatever school for that major. So definitely fill out as many as you can. Even if you're like, I know I'm not going to get this, fill it out. Fill it out, because you never know if you're going to get it or not. You can't tell yourself you're not going to get it, because you're not the judge of them and you don't know. Okay. Number 4, keep track of deadlines, because they will burn you. I will tell you, there was 2 scholarships I didn't end up applying for because we went to Disney. It was like the second to last week of March, and then the last week of March was my spring break, and so I was literally just working every single day. And so I didn't end up filling out 2 scholarships. Like, I missed the deadline because the deadline was April 1st. I missed the deadline, and those were so easy, like easy scholarships. They didn't have essays. Actually, I think one of them did, but they were super easy. It would have not taken me a long time to get done. But because I didn't stay up with the deadline, it burned me. And also, with the common scholarship that I did, I was not paying attention to scholarship deadlines at all. And so I had to, it was due the next day, and that night I had to rush and find references. I had to text people, call people. My dad had to call a family friend and say, could you do this? It's due tomorrow. And she had to rush and get it done, and I had to pick it up at 9 a.m. so I could get it to school. Like, keep track of your deadlines, whether it's in your notes, whether it's in your calendars, whether you're literally writing it down. Keep up with them, because they will literally be the reason you don't get half of the scholarships you're wanting to fill out. And that's not even a joke, because there are so many scholarships that they have such a strict deadline that they won't take anything after that. And if you're after that, then you just don't get it. Like, keep up with your deadlines. If you have like 5 due on the same day, make sure you know which 5 it is, so you're not trying to get, like, say they're all due in April. Do not go off of which one's easiest. Go off of deadlines. Say this one is due first, so I need to get this one done. Then after that one, get the next one done. Don't go off of, oh, this doesn't have an essay, this is easier, this and that. Don't do that, because you're going to burn yourself in the end. Number 5, don't stress yourself out so much that you get so overwhelmed that you do none of the scholarships you were trying to do. I have not gotten to this point yet, but I am telling you, I have gotten so stressed out about them. I want to give up. And then I'm like, no, Ashlyn, like, you need this money. You're going to a expensive college. Like, you need this money. You can't be paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of your pocket. Like, you ain't got that kind of money. So I really try pushing myself. But I'm telling you right now, if you stress yourself out and you get so overwhelmed, and like, I overthink everything. So if like you overthink and you worry about everything and you get so overwhelmed and you just don't do any, that's not helping, sis. It's not helping. It's like in school when you procrastinate. Scholarships, you can't do that. If you procrastinate, you ain't getting them. So keep on top of those deadlines. And then don't stress yourself out about all of these scholarships. And also, you have to realize that it's not even 50-50. It's like 1%, 10% that you're going to get this scholarship. So, yes, fill them out, because that 10% could turn into 100 real quick. But don't stress yourself out so much that you get none of the scholarships done. If you have 5 and you cannot fill out all 5, like you just mentally can't get all 5 done, maybe they're all essays, do 3, do 2, do 1 if you really can't get all 5 done. But don't just do none, because you're going to burn yourself in the end. Number 6, apply for bank scholarships. So I, through my school, they put out scholarship lists like every week. And so a lot of banks were in that, but then I even looked up like my personal bank and I realized they do have a scholarship. Look up random banks in your city, and I think they even do out of your city too. So look up banks and look up their scholarships, because I know in Jeff City there's a Hawthorne one, there's a Central Bank one, there's a US Bank one, and I think there's even like a River Regional one. And yes, they may not all pertain to you. Maybe it's like your parents have to be in connection and stuff, but I know a lot of them, it's just like if you were in business or finance, like it was really easy to get into them, like really easy to apply for them. And so do it. Like whether you know anything about banks, I know the US Bank one, you have to do like classes or something. I haven't looked all into it yet because it's not due for a while. But definitely look into bank scholarships. I know that's like a weird thing, but look them up, because I did not realize banks do scholarships every year. Like, of course, they have deadlines and stuff, but they do them every year. And they don't have, like, the rule that if you win once, you can't win again. So you could win every year, okay? I don't think you will, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Number 7. This is going to be a weird one, but I promise you it works. Look scholarships up on Pinterest. I know you're probably looking at me like I'm crazy. Pinterest, where you get recipes, where you get clothing ideas, party ideas. Scholarships? No. But I promise you, they will have websites of scholarships. Like I've literally found lists of the best scholarship websites. And I haven't gone on all of them, so I can't say every list you find is legit. But I'm telling you, Pinterest will have so many scholarship opportunities through it just because of websites, just because of different links that are on it. So look it up. If you have a Pinterest account, and if you're on Pinterest all the time like I am, look up scholarships. Just see what you find, because maybe you find nothing. And that's okay. But if you find something, or if you find a lot, that's really helpful for you trying not to pay a bunch out of pocket and trying not to get loans. Number 8. Okay, the next like 3 are for essays. So if you have scholarships with essays, this is some advice. So with essay, like scholarship essays, keep in mind page limits and word limits, because I will tell you right now, there's been 1 or 2 of my scholarships that I kept mixing up the page limit, and I almost did too much for one and too little for the other. So you really, just like with scholarship deadlines, you really have to pay attention to what scholarship has what limit, because I will tell you right now, if you don't stick to that limit, they may still pick you. It is likely, but it's not as likely as if you stick to what they actually ask of you. And that goes right into one of my other advices of read all directions. Like keep that in your mind, because I will tell you right now, one of my scholarships, it says stay in the lines, and I write really big. So I was writing all over it, and I was like, this is not all I want to put. I want to put more. So I even wrote under the lines, and I'm hoping that that doesn't like disqualify me from getting the scholarship. But you have to listen to deadlines. You have to listen to limits. You have to listen to directions, because at the end of the day, they may be looking for not the best essay writer. They may be looking for who had the best essay with listening to the directions, listening to what we asked. Because at the end of the day, they gave you directions and you may or may not have listened to them. And it could really affect how many scholarships you actually end up getting. So another one with essays. So number 9 is do research whether it tells you to or not, so you know exactly what you're talking about. The last scholarship I filled out was about like home insurance, or not home insurance, wow. Home, what was it called? Like smart home devices and vehicle telematics. And I was like, I have no idea what these are. I've never heard of them. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be able to. I literally did research for not even a day. It was one class period, which is 50 minutes. And I did research, found the websites I was going to use, and it made the essay so much easier. And that essay did require citations, so I actually had to like go through and list what I used. but a lot of them don't. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to help you 10 times better actually knowing what you're talking about instead of just writing an essay on random stuff and not even knowing where to start. If you are having difficulties, definitely do research, whether that's literally just research of, you can usually see like previous winner scholarship essays. Even looking at that will help you so much. Like, it will literally change your way of thinking about how to write it, especially when you don't know where to start. Another thing with essays is number 10. Have at least one person review your essay before you turn it in, before you email it, however you have to submit it. Have at least one person check it and review it, because at the end of the day, it could be as good as you think it is, but you could have also missed easy, like, random punctuation errors. You could have missed random capitalization errors and, like, spelling errors that at the end of the day, you would have never known were there. You need to have, whether it's a parent, whether it's a friend. I know I've had 2 friends ask me to help them, like, peer edit or peer review their stuff, and I've done it, and I've asked my dad multiple times. Like, at least have one person read it to themselves and fix it, or like have you fix it yourself, or like you read it out loud to them and them tell you what to fix. But always have at least one person, because it never hurts. You don't have to listen to them because it's your scholarship, but it helps a lot more than going into it blindly and having no idea about how it's going to turn out. Number 11. We had already kind of addressed this, but I'm just going to say it again. Make sure you read all directions, and I would definitely have them easy to access, or if you like, you print them near you when you're writing it or like typing it or whatever. Because I will tell you, I've done this so many times where I'm like, okay, these are the directions, and then I reread it. I'm like, wow, I would have missed that, and that could have cost me the scholarship. So definitely pay attention to everything that's written, all the information stuff, even though it's like boring stuff, you need to read it. All the fine print, you need to read that stuff, because it could change your possibility of getting the scholarship. Last one I have, number 12. Apply for random scholarships too, because you never know, you could get them. What I mean by random is I literally looked up random scholarships, and there is like duct tape, prom dresses, and like all this random stuff, like zombie apocalypse, and like just literally random stuff. If you are into Star Wars, there's scholarships just for you. Like, there are so many random scholarships out there that you may or may not win, but it's fun to fill out, and it's free. You don't have to pay for it, and if you don't get it, okay. But random scholarships will definitely help you in your search for scholarships. I filled out probably 5, and I still have about 5 to do. And what I mean by random is, like, there's one where it's like ice cream flavor. Which one would you be and why? Like, how does that help you get money? Baby, it does. You fill it out, you may or may not get the money, but it's fun, and it doesn't cost you anything but maybe some time. So that is some tips and advice for future college students, high school students that are needing scholarships, any of the above that this video would help. I really hope it did help you. I know if I had seen this video before my 12th grade year, I think I would have gotten so many more scholarships, even though I'm still pushing through trying to get more. But I hope you guys like this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if this has helped you, if it does help you, and then subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.